I appreciate everybody coming in short notice, and also I appreciate the fact that maybe it wasn't a busy day, so this is not too much of an inconvenience coming down the party. I'm just here today to talk a little bit about what has occurred over the course of the last few days as it relates to Coingate and the subsequent report, so-called report, that Randy Meyer issued after the corruption scandal that occurred almost a decade, if not more than a decade ago, the actual crimes. Last week, the Inspector General released a long-awaited report of its investigation into Coingate. After years of Republican inspectors general making excuses and promising answers on the scandal that rocked Ohio, we were disappointed to see nothing more than a compilation of already released stories, almost a decade old, compiled by other governmental agencies. This so-called report by Randy Meyer included no new information, no access to witness reports, and we have learned nothing from the report itself. Then yesterday, the Columbus Dispatch reported that former Governor Bob Taft's criminal record, according to the Inspector General only, that the governor's criminal record was expunged and would be forever closed to public view. Then, a few hours later, the Dispatch again reported that Governor Taft's lawyers had said that no request or receipt of an expungement of his criminal record had ever been made or requested by the governor, by the governor's lawyer, and by the prosecutor's office. This or the the judge hearing the case in that particular matter. This entire Coingate investigation, perhaps the most important scandal in the last 40 years, has been absolutely botched by the so-called Inspector General, and he should submit his resignation immediately. This Inspector General, who's supposed to be the watchdog, self-described watchdog of state government, was appointed by Governor Kasich and has had a record as a booster for the Ohio Republican Party and for the governor. Not only has Meyer donated resources, money, to Governor Kasich's campaign, he has also headlined a Republican fundraiser even while he was Inspector General. First, Randy Myers said that records were expunged. Then we find out they weren't. A simple search of court records done by the Columbus Dispatch, the Toledo Blade, the Cleveland Plain Dealer, indicates that in fact no records were expunged, and a simple phone call to the former governor, to Doug Moorman, two others involved, indicate that no requests were ever made. It appears that Randy Myers nor his staff ever spoke to Governor Taft or a representative of Governor Taft during the investigation and compilation of this particular report. We don't know why that didn't occur. We don't know why Tom Noe has yet to be interviewed. We don't know why others were not interviewed. Frankly, we don't know why a complete list was not provided to the public of who was interviewed and who was not interviewed. It's far past time to finally take what little information we have and have had for such a long time, that little piece of information, and hand it over to an independent counsel for a real investigation, a compilation of the facts presented to the public. It is a requirement of law. It is a requirement of law that the Inspector General must respond to the public after an investigation is completed with a collection of the facts and recommendations and findings. I'm suggesting that Tony Bledsoe, somebody I've known for many years and head of the Ohio Legislature's Joint Legislative Ethics Committee, take over this particular case and report back to the public. It's no surprise that Ohioans have had no new information on what really happened in this scandal. It's because the Republicans don't want that information to be delivered to the public. There are Democrats, including Connie Pillage and others, who are fighting for transparency. Representative Pillage, as we can remember, has been a champion of good government and introduced legislation to ensure that the IG was independent by creating a bipartisan appointment process for the position. In 2013, Representative Pillage filed a request for an investigation before Randy Myers into Jobs Ohio and the conduct between Jobs Ohio board members and Governor Kasich. That request remains unanswered. Until Ohio changes the way we appoint our Inspector General, this office cannot be trusted to be a fair, zealous, ethical watchdog for the people of Ohio. It's time for him to go. Welcome. Any questions?